Monbasa, Mvita. Topic: criminals in holy garb, militias in security uniform, causing confusion about security. This is an interesting topic. Like I told you, I have been hacked. I have been stalked continuously. There's been cyberbullying. All my networks are always hacked 24/7. I report by phone, but I never see much change. Then I decided to look at the cyber laws, wondering, what do our cyber laws constitute? Are they the same as the rest of the cyber laws across the world? And the answer was yes, they are exactly like the other cyber laws across the world. You have freedom of privacy, electronic and physical. Stalking somebody is a criminal offense. Cyberbullying in any form is a criminal offense. Doing a DDoS on somebody's electronic device is a criminal offense. Then I wanted to find out who are supposed to do any hacking. And it said, security teams, that's the police or the army, can conduct a hack with permission. With permission. They have to be allowed first. And then they conduct a hacking. That is the law. That is the situation. That's not what happens. I'm not saying that it is the police who do it. No. I'm not saying it is the army who do it. No. But I discovered something prompting me to talk about this. There was a time I talked about cybercrime. And if you look in my past videos, you'll find that. Hacking and all that. Told you of hacking through the radio, hacking TVs, hacking any appliance. Even if you have a microwave that is compliant, you will be hacked through the microwave. If washing machine, all those things, those electronic, compliant, that use modern electrical ways to operate are hackable. Not only your phone. We talked about that. But recently, I discovered that sometimes even the police department may not know, because there are many private companies that have hacking devices. Question is, are private companies supposed to have hacking devices? And if they have, under what law do they operate? Under what circumstances are they supposed to hack? As I was looking into that, I realized many religious organizations have tracking vehicles, have hacking devices. And I was wondering, are religious organizations supposed to have hacking devices? Are they supposed to hack? Are they supposed to stalk? And then I saw security companies. That also brings us to this purpose, this area. We have private studios. How do they operate? Do they have hacking devices? Under what circumstances are they supposed to use these devices? Are they legal? So, as I'm going to relate this, because I'll talk to you about what happens in the psychic and what happens in the electronic. Electronically, you are hacked. In the psychic language, as you try to handle the hacking situation, you are talked to, you are taunted. And how are you taunted? Like some of the chief hackers always taunt openly, their devices belong to a church. So, who will ask the church? Now, you have a problem here because a device belongs to a church. A device belongs to a security company that is supposed to take care of people's home. And you are taunted psychologically that the device belongs to a security company. The police may try to follow, but where do they end up? A security company allowed to own a hacking device or hacking devices. They may try to track, and they find here the holy men in Garbs. This is a church thing, and it's being done for the church to track our vehicles, to track our. But then you realize you're not a church, you're not a vehicle, a church property, or you're not a security company protecting. What happens? It brings a lot of confusion because even those tracking from the police department belong to religions. Now you have to handle your church over a hacking device that has been misused. How do you go about that? How do you go about that? What surprised me, because sometimes I would be tracked. Not sometimes, continuously. I'm tracked continuously. I'm hacked continuously. There are some vehicles that would follow with warnings. And sometimes I would even be confused, think, will this be rapid forces from the police department? And my shock came when I realized some belong to these organizations. They don't belong to the police. So now, how do they present themselves? They present themselves as government. Serikali imesema. So now, how do you relate this with the government? Because you will be talking about the police, maligning them. How do you report? And they never take action. And it's the church that is doing that to you. They have rapid response units. The security companies have rapid response units. As far as hacking is concerned, hacking without permission from the Kenyan government, because you have to get that through the lawyer, for that particular purpose, for a specific length of time, defined properly, and then you can conduct your hacking. They have talked to me in psychic. They say the Kenyan law on, what do you call it, this white hacking thing, why is it just disappearing when there is this legal hacking that is done? The name has just disappeared. Don't mind, go through the internet, you'll get it. Ethical hacking. That these things of ours are supposed to be doing ethical hacking. You go and here we shall say, those things do ethical hacking. Can the Kenyan ethical hacking law be defined? Who is an ethical hacker? And what circumstances do they operate? Who is supposed to track a person? Can a church group, can a security group track an individual who is supposed to track criminals? Is supposed to be the police. Can a church group, a church rapid response unit, a security rapid response unit, be tracking you continuously for years without any criminal obligation. Because as I talk like that now, there was a time when I wanted to start a business and I needed to take a certificate of good conduct, which I applied through eCitizen, and it was processed through the police department. They checked everything and I am as clean as a whistle. They gave me certificate of good conduct. So as I talk now, I am a person who holds a certificate of good conduct, meaning that in the Kenyan legal system, I am a very innocent person. I'm not a criminal to be tracked. I'm not a criminal to be stalked. I'm not a criminal to be hacked, all the social media services. But as I was thinking that, I realized that some of the telephones of friends, a few friends that I have here, because most of the time I keep to myself, they got through the same thing, hacking. Though many of them do not even realize it's hacking. You tell them, they tell you, it has lost the network. This one is hanging. They don't know it's a DDoS. These laws, how are they implemented? 2, security companies. How are security companies given the hacking devices? Under what procedure are they used to use them? Are they allowed to track people and to stop people? Church organizations. I don't know here, I've not witnessed the Islamic, I don't know if Muslims have. Let me say just religious across the board. Are they allowed to hack people? Are they allowed to stop people breaking the privacy law? So it is high time that even people in parliament, people everywhere, addressed these laws. What is the privacy law in Kenya? Who can hack? Who can track? Under what circumstances? For what length of time? Because there are times we are always throwing the blame to the police. It is the police. It is the police. I realized that our service providers hack us, or they give their devices. I've experienced, if somebody, those who do cyber checking my phones will realize that service provider hacking you. Then you are supposed to complain through the same service provider, I'm being hacked. Put 334 and you send that to the hackers or some other numbers to the hackers who you know very well are hacking. Sometimes you are operating in a different service provider line and you are hacked with a different provider line. You are seeing the label of that provider in this line. They are able even to adjust so that the amount you pay goes in a flash. And you know, when a device is hacking you, it is using both your credit for the purpose. Question: could this rapid response unit that do not belong to the police, do not belong to the army, be used in human trafficking? Like this thing I'm going through. When they started following me when I came to Bungoma, they were telling me, you are a Hidi. So Hidi means somebody who is being followed for sacrifice or for sale to a foreign country or other places to make money. These are religious rapid response units and security rapid response units, meaning that sometimes the police may not even be aware. You're right, they are trying to find out what is happening. What happens? Why must churches have hacking devices, tracking vehicles, hacking vehicles? There's vehicles that are able to operating. Why do security I may understand liaising with the police, but under what circumstances? What permission are they given? Are they given leeway to hack anybody? Interfere with the privacy of anybody? That is something that has been making me wonder. And I looked at the laws, I found we have freedom of privacy, and the security forces of the country, that is the police, the army, can track. But a tracking even by the police has to be, a reason has been found. Permission is granted and for a length of time. That brings a problem, because whenever you report anywhere, they're always looking into it, and those taunting you, utatufanya, what will you do? We are hacking, now we shall hack double, now we shall even stop the whole thing. And they do it. We shall surcharge, and you find now, instead of that thing that counts as you move, it's now, and what do you do? And they tell you, in psychic, we've done it. And when you make this report, they will still be referred back to us. Getting that? And then they proudly tell you, there are such devices who can follow up. So, could churches and security companies be privy to what happens in the human trafficking area? Even murders, because somebody tracking you 24 hours knows where you can be found. They can lay a hitman, they can direct a hitman. The militia companies that come, those are the ones sometimes who hang around some places where a victim is, in the stages in some place, pretending to be rowdy crowds. When something happens, they will hit you. That is, the members of the public kill somebody suspecting is a criminal. These are directed by the same thing. That's why I said, criminals in holy Garbs, directed by these same companies. And the attack, they call them rapid response teams, or Rahia, civilians. So when you are hit by the civilians, they realize something, they hang around where you stay or where you pass or where you are doing something, and when an order is given, they will hit you first. We suspected he was a thief. We suspected he was what? That's how some of the crimes are committed. That's how some of people are killed, mob justice, and that is how victims are followed and hit, because they have 24 hours, second to second, real time hacking and follow. Question we ask, we have got MPs, we have got all those people who represent us. What are the cyber laws of Kenya? Are Kenyans entitled to privacy? Are Kenyans protected from harassment? Are Kenyans to be stalked by people who call themselves government and they are not government? They belong to these organizations that we're talking. But every time they approach government, he's joking with government. But it's not government. That's what has been realized. It's not the police. I wonder, because in other countries, triangulation is done. You can triangulate hacking over phone over the years. Can something be done like that to find those who hack the phones without permission? And that is a crime, a very serious crime in Kenya. Why should they be given leeway? By saying that, I am not only talking about myself, I'm talking of people who are experiencing the same thing in the country, and some do not know because they are intimidated by those from security companies or some organizations that have many vehicles that track. And they're always told, ni serikali inakufuata. So they are intimidated by that word. What are our cyber criminal laws? What are our privacies? Do these organizations, as religious organizations, security companies, must they have many rapid response units that are not controlled by the security forces of the country? Or are they controlled? How do they end up hacking individuals who even have certificate of good conduct throughout 24 hours a day, interfering and telling you, psychic, we are still the same people to come and assist you? That is my take for now. This is Kariako talking, Kariango, saying you can carry this information. Those who are placed in places to protect us, please discuss those things. And what do we say after that? Kariangofo, you carry and go. That is the situation. That's my take.